Wanted, wagwan. Where we at? Where we at? We inside. I wanted to give an update on my league start, the pin Ballista Tactician. The start is about what you would expect from anything not Deadeye. Dog shit, absolute dog shit. But you didn't click on this video to find a good build. You clicked on this video because you tired of dropping mirrors. You tired of making divines. And you want to sound fresh and slow. So I did what everybody else did. I threw on poison support, threw on fragment of rounds with contagion for AoE, and for single target, we use high velocity rounds. Big emphasis on getting the highest DPS crossbow you can get. As you move through campaign, listen, I took my time. Act 1 took me about 2 hours with twink gear and a brain. I'm sure you could finish in sub 90 minutes easy. Being able to aim helps. Knowing where to go and what to skip helps. Playing the game at a frame rate higher than 5 helps. Being able to move at all helps. Act 2, we brought galvanic shards online. I think the crossbow skill you want to use, anyone you want to use, works. And if you want to ignore crossbows altogether and just use a bow, all bow skills are powerful early on. So even though galvanic shards got to change in point 3, it's like fragmented rounds, but does more damage. It still feels a bit off, but honestly, once that 20% extra damage you get from shock comes online, it feels great. Now we got cannons ready as soon as we could after our first lab, and you want to get resistances, you want to get defenses if you play anything like how I play and just roll into attacks. I think I said our second lab. After our first lab, we got cannons ready. After our second lab, we respect into right where we want them to get that pin. And once we got to Doriani, we got shock burst rounds. Something I regret not doing was getting Stormcaller arrow earlier. That shock chance is busted. And it makes it easier for shock burst rounds to do its thing being damaged. I used War Bandit too. Bandit's got a buff, but I was way too lazy to press an extra button. This is already like a 8-button build. I forgot Bandit completely for most of my playtime. Once we got into Act 4, things went downhill in terms of death. We died a lot from shit we couldn't see. Plus we had 0 defenses, which is somehow not as bad as I thought it would be. It definitely negatively affected us. But Act 4 is still my favorite act so far, hands down. While campaign looked and felt like OJ trying on gloves, getting into maps felt like slipping on a pair of tidy whities and your favorite knee highs. I'm talking snug. We felt comfortable in maps than we felt comfortable in maps than we felt comfortable in maps. Then we went into second miss and we tore that ass up, boy. First try. You got cannon ready right after our third lab. Extra totems feels great, but I honestly don't think it's needed until fourth lab. Once you get the extra aura, extra embarkment auras, you could just go defenses instead, or you could get some extra spirit reservation. Speaking of defenses, maps and a long line of deaths was when I decided to take defense seriously. Getting one shot by a random AoE is annoying after like the 30th time. Now our damage is, yes, you guessed it, dog shit, which is a great segue to my plans for making this build worse. We will be transitioning to crit and crit damage as we get deeper in the end game. We're still at the start right now. A lot of the points I'll show you will most likely be moved around, but there are some really, really good ones that we're probably gonna keep. And I think this transition is going to turn this build into the diamond and the canine fecal matter. You're probably thinking that there's no way I can make this build any worse. But trust, I've been watching a little Quinn 69, and I think that with enough excuses and little to no research, I should be able to make one of the worst ZDPS tactician builds this season. Look at this Herald of Thunder damage. Yeah. I believe it took 22 hours of playtime to get through the full John. But I was moving like a bot. I was moving like an NPC. Needed to get health on artillery ballista, on our pin ballista. Needed that John. It was dying way too fast once we got to maps. And we didn't really put any points into totems because it's not really, this is like a totem hybrid galvanic. It's honestly just a pin build. It's honestly just a pin build with extra steps. Fortified location. I don't even think I need that, honestly, but the other ones are pretty dope. And then there's a section up there above those armor and evasion nodes that give ballistas crit and crit damage. I took it, used it for a little bit. Totems were doing, a decent chunk of damage, but since I wasn't going into crit, it's like, why use those nodes? But I might once we make that transition. So overwhelm, all of that stuff, all of that stuff gotta go. All of that stuff gotta go. We gotta move into that right side of the tree. We're becoming right side tree enjoyers. All jokes aside, if you have any questions, please leave it in the comments below. I might make a mobalytics or something for it, like a POB or whatever. I'll update y'all as I go. Leave a like, subscribe, and if you want to see me playing real time, I'm over at twitch.tv/ODs, the Allfather, and kick.com/ODs, the Allfather. Heartbreaking. It struck through is really important. That +1 is huge for a crit. I already started making that transition. So updates will come soon. Twitch.tv/ODs, kick.com/ODs. And I'm out.